Hey guys, so welcome back. Today we will review exponents and we're just going to go over a basic review of exponents. I know you guys have seen the common example 2 to the 5th power where your 2 is your base and your 5 is your exponent, also called power. And an exponent is pretty much the number of times the base number is multiplied by itself. So the number of times the base number is multiplied by itself. So in this example, since we have 2 to the 5th power, this pretty much means we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16, and then 16 times 2 is 32. So you know 2 to the 5th power equals 32. What if you had 3 to the 2nd power? So in this example, 3 is your base, and then 2 is your exponent. And 3 to the 2nd power just means 3 times 3, and this is going to equal 9. So 3 to the 2nd power equals 9. What about 2 to the power of 3? So your 2 is your base and 3 is your exponent. So this pretty much means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the 3rd power equals 8. So let's look at these two examples here. Notice that we have a parentheses on one example, and then we do not have parentheses on another example. In this example right here, this means you have -1, imaginary -1 here, times 4 squared. So -1 times 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times -1 is going to equal a -16. So in this example here, -4 squared without the parentheses is going to equal -16. Your base in this example is going to be just a +4, not -4. So your base is 4 and your exponent is going to be 2. Let's look at this example here. So in this example, notice that we do have parentheses this time. So this means -4 times -4, and this is going to give me a +16. So -4 squared with the parentheses included is going to equal a +16. Your base in this example is -4 this time, and then your exponent is going to be 2. So let's try these examples here. -3 to the power of 4. So let's start here. We have a negative here, and we have 3 to the 4th power. So this technically, we have an imaginary 1 floating around. So I'm going to put my imaginary 1 out. And I have 3 to the 4th power. So this means -1, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And then 27 times 3 is 81. So inside my parentheses here, I know I'm going to get 81. Okay. And now I technically here, I have 81 times this -1 here. So this is going to give me a -81. So this example, you're going to get a -81 as your answer. Now let's look over here. -3 is in parentheses. So this means -3 times -3 times -3 times -3. So -3 times -3 is going to give you a +9. 9 times -3 is a -27. -27 times a -3 is going to give you a +81. So -3 in parentheses to the 4th power is going to equal a +81. And remember, for this example, your base is just going to be 3 and your exponent is going to be 4. And in this example here, your base is -3. And then your exponent as well is going to be 4. So now let's try, what if I gave you 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? And I wanted you to write this expression using exponents. How would I rewrite this expression using exponents? We know that I have 4 3's, so 1, 2, 3, 4. My base we know is 3, and my exponent is 4. What about 4 times 4? I have 2 4's, 1, 2, so we know our base is 4, and then our exponent is 2. And 5 times 5 times 5. I have 3 5's, so 1, 2, 3. We know that our base is 5, and our exponent, our power, is 3. So 5 to the 3rd power. What about -2 times -2 times -2 times -2? Let's say I have to rewrite this expression using exponents. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 -2's. So I know my base is -2 and my exponent is going to be 4. So -2 is being multiplied 4 times. 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that my base is 7 and my exponent is 4. 7 to the 4th power. What about 0 times 0 times 0? I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So this means 0 is the base and my exponent is 3. And then let's try x times x. I have 1, 2. So I know my base is x and my exponent is 2. So what if you had 6 and a power of 0? Just like we've been doing earlier, your base is 6 and your exponent is 0. Any base raised to the exponent of 0 is going to equal 1. This is going to equal 1. So 2 to the 0 power, this is 1. If I had -3 to the 0 power, this equals 1. What if you had pi to the 0 power? This is also going to equal 1. All right, so now let's look at 5 to the 0 power. Again, we said this is going to equal 1. What if you had -5 to the 0 power? This is also going to equal 1. However, if I just had -5 written like this with no parentheses, this is going to equal -1. Remember the difference between parentheses and no parentheses. And remember, we talked about this imaginary 1 floating around because of this negative right here. So this is negative imaginary 1 times 5 to the 0 power. -1 times 5 to the 0 power, we said was 1. So 1 times -1 is going to give you a -1. What if you had a base with no exponent? There's like an imaginary 1. Again, we have this imaginary 1 floating around. So this means 6 to the imaginary 1 power, right? So let's say if I just gave you the number 8, and I wanted you to rewrite the number 8 using exponents. To rewrite this, you're going to get 8 to the power of 1. So let's say if I gave you 8 to the 1 power. Your base is 8 and your exponent is 1. And I wanted you to give me the answer. You're just going to get 8. All right. So this is the same thing, except one of these expressions is written using exponents. All right. So if I just gave you the number 5 and you had to rewrite 5 using exponents, this is going to equal 5 to the 1 power. All right, so that is all for today, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.